AFTV, Julian, off to a winning start, 3 points. What do you make of the game?
Well, it was a game of two halves. It started off really well. We knew exactly what we were going to expect. We all predicted it. Cooper comes, he plays one way. He's got an inferior team. I have to say that he's an excellent coach, because when you look at those two teams on paper, Arsenal should have annihilated them. We knew what to expect. We knew that Martinelli and Saka had to be on form, and Martinelli and Saka were absolutely immense. That first half, I thought both of them were unplayable. If I had to pick one over the other, it would probably be Martinelli. What they did, they condensed play really effectively, and it took an absolutely brilliant piece of individual skill by Martinelli to open them up. I mean, what he did, that was like Bergkamp-esque. That, anyone else you'd have think maybe there's a bit of luck involved, but he absolutely meant that. So we opened them up. We then scored another great goal. We took advantage of one of their rare and only mistakes, which was their number 10. What's his name? Gibbs White. Tried to play the ball out. We intercept it. We'll bang on it. We press really high. Saka's finish, brilliant. So the game started. I was enthused. Not only was I enthused by the performance, but I was enthused with the fact that we could go on to score 3, 4, 5, 6, which I do think is important, because ultimately we are in competition, not with Nottingham Forest, we're in competition with Manchester City. And when you look at it, Manchester City had what I would look at as a very tricky first game, whereas we had what I would consider to be the easiest game in the Premier League that we could actually choose.
At this stage, it makes no difference, does it? It's the first game of the season. You're talking about goal difference.
If we lose the Premier League on goal difference, it matters.
It's the first game won. Game one.
Yeah.
Matchday 1. Weekday 1. Goal difference.
Yeah, but what difference does it make whether it's Matchday 1, Matchday 5, Matchday 15, Matchday 38? It doesn't matter.
Most important things are 3 points, isn't it?
The most important thing is 3 points.
Right.
It is 3 points, and the positives were, and I hate being negative, but the positives are we've got 3 points. We've gone for a winning start.
But you're moaning about the goal difference.
It's a statement.
It is. It's exactly that. It's not just a statement. It's psychological, because when I look at the league table on tonight, or when I get in, or when I finish this interview, I'm going to see Manchester City above Arsenal, and that's going to have an effect on me.
When you looked on the league table for the majority of last season, where did you see Arsenal?
I saw Arsenal on the top.
And where did we finish?
We finished slightly off the top.
Worry about it game by game. Worry about it game by game. We were on top for most of last season. The most important thing is the first game of the season.
It's the first game of the season, and look, I'm not unhappy, although the last 10-15 minutes I found very stressful, and I've got a headache now. and I had really, every time up to recently, like the summer's been brilliant. We've watched some great games. They've been competitive. I've enjoyed them. I enjoyed that first half. I enjoyed the first half of the second half. But when they scored their goal, it became stressful, and that wasn't enjoyment. That wasn't entertainment. That was actually quite painful.
Listen, who stood out for you today then? You ready? You mentioned Martinelli. Is he the one that really stood out for you?
Yeah, Martinelli for me was man of the match. Even though his second half performance tailed off, but what was also really important was Declan Rice. How he just cuts in, nicks the ball. He's got this almost like sixth sense of being able to just get the ball and break up their play, which is so important, because so many times last season I've seen that Arsenal were kind of vulnerable and teams hit them on the break, and it did happen today, but it didn't happen very often. So yeah, Declan Rice I'd put as the second most important player, and then Odegaard. Odegaard, I thought, Odegaard, everything was going through Odegaard. He was just immense as well.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a fortress here this season, but you've seen the Community Shield last week, the game today. For the season ahead, you're optimistic?
Yeah, you can't not be, because I've come out of here slightly disappointed, but that's because of my expectation levels are now increased somewhat. A few seasons ago, I came away from a 1-0 victory against Norwich, and I was absolutely elated because we scraped a 1-0 against Norwich. Now I'm coming out of there slightly disappointed that we've not scraped, but we've been, it's been slightly stressful towards the end.